Today I'm going to be starting part one of a new embroidery project. So this project I actually got a couple of months ago, and I just thought it'd be fun to go ahead and start a new one. Now, I could be 100% wrong when I say this, but I have a feeling this project is going to go by fairly quickly because it just seems to be a more minimal embroidery project. So we're just going to go ahead and unpackage everything, look at the instructions, and just go ahead and get started. I don't know how many parts to like part one, part two, part three. I don't know how many of those I'm going to make for this project. I'm going to assume 3, but I really don't know yet. Anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Now, I do want to say very, very strongly, I am not a pro at embroidery. I am very much a beginner. And so I just want to go ahead and say that I am not an expert. Yes, I will make mistakes, and that's okay. We all start somewhere. I will also say, if you are a beginner to embroidery, or you just want to start out with it just to see if you like it, I would 100% recommend that you start with something very small. And the reason why I say that is I actually did my very first embroidery project last year. I made my mom a embroidery bookmark as like a stocking stuffer, and that was the first time I ever did embroidery, and it did not turn out the greatest, but I was actually really proud of it because, like, as my mom and my family would say, you got to start somewhere. However, I then jumped from that to a bookshelf project. Now, the bookshelf you can actually see on my channel. It's under the embroidery playlist. The bookmark that I made for my mom, that is not under any playlist because that was actually done before I decided to start this channel. But I will say though that once, in the midst of me working on that bookshelf one, I was like regretting it because I was like, I should have done something smaller and then just continued to work my way up. So if you're a beginner to something like this, I would 100% start small and work your way up because you're probably going to end up feeling a lot less overwhelmed anyway, or intimidated by a project. Anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, I am not a pro. I am very much a beginner. I'm going to make mistakes. And another thing I do want to mention, because I have a feeling that this might make some people annoyed, I do not 100% stick to the color palette of a project like this because, in all honesty, sometimes I just don't like the colors that they use, and I just want to add my own colors to it, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. So I just want to say that because I have a feeling that may annoy some people, but I just personally prefer to do it this way. I like adding my own colors, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to stick to the exact colors and the kit that you have, by all means, go ahead. It's 100% your project. You can do whatever you want. I just like to do this because it's just more fun for me. Now, this video was initially around almost 40 minutes long, and I went ahead and I actually cut quite a bit out, and I also sped this up quite a bit because I do so many voiceovers for my nail art YouTube channel that I have to be very cautious with how many voiceovers I do. Otherwise, I will start to get a scratchy throat, which no one likes that. No one likes that. But also, I don't want to take a chance that if I do a video that's too long, that I'm going to end up losing my voice, which I know that's a possibility. So we're trying to avoid that. Anyway, plus also, I don't think I could talk for an hour-long video like that without like taking a break or something. So it's just easier for me to do smaller ones like this and just do multiple parts to the video. So we're just going to go ahead and do the grass and the stems here. Like I said, I don't know how many parts to this project there will be. Could be completely wrong, like I said. This could be like done in like 2 sittings or it could take 3. I don't know. But I will say though that if you are a person who has a hard time with a specific season, I would 100% recommend doing small projects like this because it'll take your mind off of it. And the reason why I say that is I am not a fan of the summer season, and I have a feeling that will make some people annoyed. And absolutely nothing against anyone who does love summer. I understand why summer has so many beautiful qualities. The flowers, the hot weather, the gardens, like the vegetable fruit gardens, etc. However, not everyone can tolerate summer. We have already had a good feel of summer weather, and it is not pleasant. Very humid, not fun. And I also am allergic to mosquitoes. So yeah, summer is not kind to me, but My attitude with summer is just make the best of it because it's a season and soon it will be fall. So if you are a person who does not like a specific season, I 100% recommend to just find something to take your mind off of it, whether it's reading a book series or it's binge watching one of your favorite shows or binge watching a movie series or starting a new hobby, something like that, because it will help and it'll just take your mind off of it. If you are looking for a book series to binge, I would 100% recommend like Percy Jackson. Um, there's multiple other book series. I'm trying to think off the course of my head. Um, Hawthorne series, things like that. Just for some book recommendations, if you are looking for some, I have multiple book videos on this channel. I've also decided to go ahead and do, which I'm currently working on, a historical book series. So if you're a person that loves history, I would 100% recommend reading some historical books. You could do like First Ladies, Presidents, you could do historical moments, whatever it may be. I know they make a lot of historical fictions. Like you could read all those type of things if you were just looking for some fun book recommendations. But yeah, but again, like I said, if you are wanting to start embroidery or any type of hobby, like the crafting like this, I would 100% recommend starting off small and working your way up, just because it's going to be a lot easier for you. And this in no way, shape, or form is going to end up being perfect. And I don't want it to be perfect. And the reason why I don't is because one, I'm not a pro in embroidery, but two, I am trying to not be a perfectionist. I've always been a perfectionist, and I am trying to not let myself be a perfectionist anymore because it causes a little bit too much overwhelm when you do that. So yeah, but I was very happy with the way that this turned out with the stems. And yeah, like you can see here, I have sped this up just so that's going to be easier for me. One thing I will say though that I was actually really annoyed about with this project, and this is nothing against the actual pattern because this pattern is so stinking cute, it's the fact that they did not include a threader. So I would definitely recommend having something like that just already on hand. That way, in case you have a kit and it does not have something like that, you are good to go. And I also recommend, if you are planning on doing something like this or any crafting in general, always have some spare things like needles, little pairs of scissors, measuring tape, things like that, all ready to go. That way, in case for any reason you open up a new project and they don't have those things, you already have them. Because this one came with only one needle. Now, thankfully, I think I have 2 packs of embroidery needles, which is really, really nice. But like I said, sometimes projects don't include those things, so you want to make sure that you have some on hand already ready to go. That way, in case that happens, you are all set. I think it's going to be so cute to do like the little butterfly and the little uh, bumblebee there. And I do want to go ahead and very quickly say, like I said, this video is sped up. This is not how fast I was doing this. Believe me, I was going much, much slower. I just sped it up for the sake of my vocal cords. I don't know about anyone else, but for me personally, I find watching people do things like embroidery, knitting, crocheting, um, like any type of craft, as well as like cookie decorating, cake decorating. I just find those to be really, really relaxing. When I was little, I used to love watching like cake decorating competitions because I just found that to be like so fascinating, and it was just so cool to watch like how people were working with that type of stuff. And I remember I was like, how in the heck are they going to get that to work? And I thought it was like so cool. And I think crafting in general is something that is very, very relaxing to watch, and like it'll like zone you out. And one of the things I've been watching a lot lately on like Instagram and YouTube is gardening. I'm not as much into gardening as I used to be when I was younger, but I still enjoy watching like the flowers bloom. I enjoy watching like the vegetables grow. I enjoy harvesting them. I love when my daisies bloom. And but it's really funny to watch. It's fun to watch like those type of videos because one, you get inspired to do things and you get inspired to try new things, but also it's really funny when um, someone would be like, and on today's episode of how we fix a mistake, it's the way people say it that make me just start laughing because we've all been there. And I feel like I should do that on my nail art YouTube channel, have a small series where I'm like, on today's episode of the things I did as a mistake on this design, because I think it's important to show the mistakes you make, whether it's like that on my nail art YouTube channel or it's just like in general, because no one's perfect when it comes to that, and I just think it's always good to show those mistakes. I will say though, one little thing I would definitely recommend if you are working on an embroidery project or any type of crafting is you want to make sure that you really look at all the small details, because sometimes there's a hidden little stem or vine in there that you didn't see initially. So I would 100% make sure that you are like looking very closely at something so that you can get everything done. I actually made that mistake with the bookshelf project I did, because I thought I went to do all of the plants, and I was so happy with the way it was turning out, and I was like, something's missing. I totally did not see that there was another plant vase on the bookshelf, and I completely missed that one somehow. But yeah, that happens. So if that happens to you, just don't feel bad. It happens. So like I said, I don't know how many projects or how many parts to this project I'm going to be doing. For all I know, I might just get everything done in the next video. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. And I also have not decided how I'm going to, like, how I'm going to, like, display this project, because part of me wants to just leave it. There's another part of me that's like, no, I should try to like find a way to like display it correctly. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But I am so excited to see what this looks like when it's done. I think it is so fun when you get to see like the before and the after. And yeah. And I purposely left this in so that you can see the fact that I had a mistake there. I fixed it off camera, but I did do that purposely. Like I said, I think it's very important to make sure that, if you're going to film something for, social media or YouTube, whatever it may be, I think it's very, very important to make sure that you include mistakes, so that is something that, you know, I just think it's important to do that, because we're all humans and no one is perfect. Just like I think it's also important, and I actually really like it when you watch crafting videos or just anything like that in general on the internet, and they say, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fix that. I think that is really, really nice, because you don't know how to fix something sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up here. I hope this video was relaxing. I'm actually going to have some book videos on my channel again here soon. I'm also going to be doing more journaling. But yeah, that is it for part 1.